All right, y'all. Let me slide this over here. So, welcome. This is your kind of flowy, just a chill class with some stretching. I have 2 blocks here if you want to grab 2 blocks. And I just have this towel or this blanket for my knees to go underneath my knees when my back knee is down or something like that. Just because it feels better, right? If you have a pretty thick mat, you probably don't need one. Or if you're on like carpet, you probably don't need one. But that's why I have it. It's not required. It's just makes it feel better on my knees. So there you go. And if you want to use my Spotify playlist, it is Feel It All. And let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to have you start off in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is your supine butterfly pose. And you'll see I'm going to use a couple of blocks here. So lie down on your back. Draw the soles of your feet together. Your heels in towards your sits bones. And then let your knees just hang comfortably open. And then you'll find the spot where you want the blocks. It might be closer to your hips, to your glutes. It might be more towards your knees, your outer thigh. I have mine kind of angled here so that it's actually the space, the 2 spaces that are being supported is right below like my hip crease and then also just above my ankles on the outside. Just so that I can ease into this and really let go and feel supported. Yeah. So once you get in that space, your arms can do whatever you want. They can rest out to the side, body palms face up. Perhaps you take one palm to your low belly, one to your heart. I'm going to just take both to my abdomen. Feels better today. And then close down your eyes. Relax your brows, wiggle your jaw from side to side. Take a few moments here and just drop in. Step out of your week. Step out of your morning so far, the hustle and bustle of all the things that are happening. Go ahead and exhale completely. Take a deep breath in. Allow for your breath to rise. Just a gentle pause at the top. And then exhale it all out, emptying, releasing. And there's a gentle pause at the bottom. Inhale, take your lungs to full capacity. Suspend your breath at the top. And then exhale. Empty it all out. Suspension at the bottom. And then you inhale to rise. A gentle hold of your breath at the top, so nothing intense. And then you exhale to let it go. And then it's that soft holding at the bottom. And then one more just like that. Inhale. Soft pause. And then exhale, release, and let it go. Take a few more rounds of breath just like that. If you want to skip the pause, you can. We're just looking to even out your inhale and your exhale so that they match both in duration and intensity. Coming back into the space, remembering that your practice is about your breath, that yes, we focus on a lot of the physical stuff. But this practice is also intuitive. It's so much more than the physicality that shows up on your mat. It's getting to know yourself. It's trusting yourself. learning to be truthful with yourself by allowing whatever is showing up on the mat to show up, no attachments, being okay if something you normally do today you can't, and being curious whenever something new shows up that maybe before you couldn't, right? Now, nice and slow. On your next exhale, draw your knees together. Let the soles of your feet come down to the ground. Whenever you move your blocks out from underneath your legs, give yourself a moment here. And then hug your knees and towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a little squeeze and rock it side to side. And if your shoulders pulled up towards your ears, can you soften them back down? And feel the massage on your low back as you rock side to side. And come right back into center. Take your inhale. And on the exhale, it's a happy baby. Peace fingers to your big toes or hands to the outer inner arches of your feet. Flex your feet towards the sky. And then moving into this very gently here. Take an inhale. Now, as you exhale, you might rock slightly over to the right and then straighten through your right leg. Now, don't go all the way straight. It's early in your practice, right? But just kind of lengthen through the right leg. And then you inhale to come through center. And on the exhale, rock slightly over to the left. Rebend your right knee and kind of straighten through your left leg. Or you can be like, I don't want to, and you skip it. Just kind of rock side to side here. Good. You should ideally not feel this at all on the inside of your knees. So if you do, skip the lengthening of the leg, right? Or just lessen it. And come right back in through center. Now, some of you that have practiced with me for a while have done this next part before. These are baby chi sit-ups. So we're going to rock and roll forward and backward. But as you come forward, you're going to take a butterfly pose, press your palms and reach your arms forward. So as you inhale, take your feet into the sky. Lift your hips, rock it back. Now keep your low back rounded. Exhale, come forward. Press the soles of your feet together. Press your palms together and reach your hands forward. And on the inhale, rock it back. Draw your knees together. Lift your hips. And on the exhale, come forward. You can always use your hands. Press your palms, soles of the feet together and reach. Let's take like 3 to 4 more of those. Inhale to rock it back. The length of your spine. Exhale to come forward. Soles and palms press. Inhale, rock it back, draw the knees together. And exhale to roll forward, press and open. Just move with your breath. You might not be rocking all the way back the way I am. It's all good. I want you to make this feel right in your body. And on this last one, come forward, press, and then just let your hands come down and hold Baddha Konasana, your butterfly pose. And then it's kind of up to you if you want to take your heart forward and kind of roll your shoulders back, or if you would like to round through your upper back and tuck your chin. Just feel it out, what resonates with you this morning. Awesome. And then slowly walk your hands back. And let's meet in box pose. Bring your knees together. I'm going to slide back so that I'm more towards the center of my mat. Bring my blanket with me. And then stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers out wide. And then with your inhale, drape a soft belly. I'm going to lose this coat here for a second. With your inhale, drape a soft belly down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then on the exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back, navel to your spine. So just traditional cat and cow. Inhale, the belly comes down. There's a sway to your low back. Press your heart forward. And then exhale to reverse it. And let's try to move and segment the spine today. So on the inhale, you feel your tailbone lift, and then you move more towards the hips, more towards your low back. The belly starts to drop down. Pull up in towards your upper back, and then let your heart spill forward, lift your chin. And then exhale, reverse out the same way. Start by tucking your chin, press your palms down, move into the shoulder blades, start to separate. Now you're in towards the center of your back, and then you tuck your tail. Inhale, let your belly soften down. You can move back into something fluid if that feels better. And then exhale, reverse it, dome out your upper back. And then inhale, come into a neutral spine. And then move a circular pattern around through your torso. Just kind of whatever feels natural in your body. So just moving around here. That could also mean that you move more towards like a hip circle. But just feel out your whole body, right? And then if you're moving in that kind of circular pattern, you want to go in the opposite direction as well. Perfect, y'all. And then from here, take an inhale. On the exhale, curl up your toes, sit your hips back onto your heels, and walk your hands back. So I'm going to pull my pinky toes out from underneath my fourth toe. And you're stretching out the fascia between your toe petals and the ball mounds of your feet, right? So just give yourself a second. If it feels like you could do more, you can slide your knees forward slightly. You could even lean back a little bit. But if this isn't something you do typically, you probably already feel some sensitivity, right? So it's all good, whatever. Perfect. And then slowly come right back forward into hands and knees. With your inhale, step your right foot to the back of your mat and then just stay with your foot down on the ground and let's roll forward and backward. Stretching through your right calf. And then something we haven't done before, I learned this from Alex Grimm the other day at Uptown Yoga, and it felt really good. And so what I want you to do, stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. You're right here. Take an inhale. Now it's going to sound counterintuitive, but on the exhale, roll to the outer edge of your right foot. So you're going to spin your right toes towards the left side of your mat. Let your right hip drop down and stretch through your right side body. And then as you inhale, come right back through center. Now on the exhale, let your right foot go flat. Spin your left toes towards the long edge of your mat. Your left hand becomes your base. Right arm reaches to the sky. So you're in a modified side plank. So just stay right here. Let your hips press forward. The back of your skull moves towards the long edge of your mat. And then your right hand is just reaching up towards the sky. Maybe your gaze goes up, or maybe you just look straight towards the right side of your room, or down towards your left hand. Now you do have the option to stay right here. If you want to move into a little bit more for the outer hip, lift your right leg. Flex your right foot, pull the pit of your belly back. And then you have the option to bend your right knee, catch your right ankle, kick into your right hand, and then rotate your right shoulder on top of the left and gaze to the sky. The soft pit of your belly draws back to support your low back here. Breathe. And then it's a very soft release. Re-extend your right leg. Your right hand comes down. Spin your left toes towards the back of your mat. And then exhale, bring your knee in towards your chin, your chest, your nose, and step your right foot forward. Slide your left knee back. You have the option here to have your hands on blocks or bring your hands down to the ground. I don't care. We're going to also do this part a little bit different today. So from here, stack your right knee over your heel or your ankle. With your inhale, let your heart pull forward. Your pelvis softens down and forward, but with control. And on the exhale, shift your hips back, but leave your right foot flat. Straighten through your right leg. Round through your upper back. Tuck your chin. And really stretch through the front side of your right leg. And on the inhale, we're going to move this forward and backward 2 more times. Inhale, pull your heart forward. And then exhale, shift your hips back. Inhale, heart comes forward, low lunge at the top of your mat. And then exhale, shift your hips back. Keep your foot pressing down. Really press down through the big toe ball mound on your right foot. Your big toe stays planted. Arch through your upper back, tuck your chin, dome it out. Feel the stretch through your low back as well. Now on your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Firm up the low belly and your inner thighs, and then stack your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay right here for the exhale. Squeeze at the base of your pubic bone, so Mula Bandha. So in yoga, remember, tight is light. So the more you can draw inward, upward, all of that stuff, you feel lighter through the body, right? So from here, legs stay the same. Inhale, try to reach your fingertips a little bit higher. On the exhale, open arm twist. Take your left arm forward, your right arm back, opening up through your chest, your upper, your middle thoracic spine, and breathe. Now take your right hand towards your low back. Inhale, lift your left fingertips up towards the sky. So you're going to feel a stretch on the front of your left hip as well as your left side psoas. Take one more inhale here, and then exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground. On the inhale, stack your right shoulder on top of the left, reach your right arm up to the sky. Drishti traditionally follows your right hand, but if that doesn't jive, then don't, right? You can look to the right, you can look down. Feel out your cervical spine and do things that support that, right? And then you have the option here to reach your right fingertips back, to flex and lift your left heel towards your glute. If the hand catches the foot, great, go for it. If it doesn't, it's all fine. You still get the quad stretch just by lifting and flexing your left foot. Perfect, y'all. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale to very soft release. Let your left foot come down. Your right hand comes down to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot over and just kind of be here. Turn your right toes out. You can roll to the outer edge of your right foot. And then if you want to be still, be still. If you want to circle your hips around, circle your hips around, right? Just feel it all out. I like to pull my left shoulder forward and really stretch my left side body. I get sticky in my intercostals, like all that stuff between the ribs. And notice how whenever you do this, when you take a really deep inhale, what happens with the stretch, right? It intensifies all of that that's happening through the rib cage. And then gently you face back forward, but leave your right toes spinning slightly outward. Curl up your left toes. Inhale, lift your left knee. On the exhale, giant step forward. Left foot outside your left hand. Heels in, toes out. Bottoms low, hands to heart. Malasana yogic squat. Be here and breathe. Lift your chest. You can kind of rock it side to side if that feels good, or just be. You can slide a block or two underneath you. At some point, the shoulders are going to stack over your hips, and the broadening of the collarbones allows for the knots on the fronts of your shoulders to roll back, and you'll feel more pressure to the inner thighs, maybe inside the knees. But if at any point that exacerbates something or you create a negative sensation in the low back, I just want you to skip all that together and bring your pressure off of your legs, right? No arms touching. And then bring your hands down to the ground. Inhale, lift your hips, straighten your legs. Turn your toes forward, soft bend to your knees. Exhale, ragdoll. Hands grab opposite elbows. Let your head completely go. And then press equally down into both feet. You can sway side to side if that feels right, or you just be there. I don't know if you've caught on, but it's like choose your own adventure, right? Tap back into your breath, y'all. And then your hands come down to the ground. And then we inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, your left arm down, your right arm reaches up and over. Get that stretch to the right side body. Now inhale, both arms high. Exhale, elbows back and down. Lift your chest. Open up through the front side of your body. Inhale, bind up your hands. Baddha Hasta, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, soften the bend in your knees. Hinge at your hips and forward fold. Let your head hang down. There's an internal rotation of your upper arm bone into the shoulder socket so that your shoulders will roll back and down away from your ears, right? So you have a long neck here. And then let your hands come down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step your feet back. Bring your knees down to the ground. And then your hips to your heels, child's pose, forehead down. You can roll your forehead side to side if that feels good. And then we inhale, come right back up into your box pose. And then exhale, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Let's roll it out, forward and backward. Oh man, I'm tight, y'all, up my upper back. Whew. I mean, because we're focusing on the calf right now, right? Right? But I feel it all up here. Oh man. All right, so from there, stack everything up. And then it's kind of that counterintuitive movement. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot. Drop your left hip down and find that stretch. Perfect. Come right back through center. Now this time, spin your left foot flat. Right toes to the back of your mat, or excuse me, to the long edge of your mat. Right hand reaches down. Left arm reaches to the sky for your modified side plank. Just hang out here for a second. Find where you are. Get comfy there. And then if you really want to, you lift your left leg up to hip height. Flex your left foot. And then if you feel like it, really pull the pit of your belly back. Bend your left knee. Let your left hand catch your left ankle. And get your quad stretch here. Gaze up and over towards the ceiling. Stack your left shoulder on top of the right. And then it's a soft release. Your left leg reaches back. Your left hand comes down to the ground. Spin your right toes towards the back of your mat. There's an inhale. Now exhale, tuck your knee in towards your chin, your chest, your nose. Dome out your upper back and then step your left foot all the way through. Slide your right knee back. More than welcome to have blocks on either side of your left foot. With the inhale, let your hips soften down and forward as you pull your heart forward. And then exhale, take your hips back, straighten through the left leg, leave your left foot pressing down into the ground. And then dome out your upper back, tuck your chin towards your chest. Feel the stretch all the way through your spine and your lumbar spine, your low back. And then on the inhale, walk yourself back forward. Exhale, shift your hips back, straightening through the left leg, rounding through the upper back. Last one, inhale forward. Exhale, shift it back. Breathe here for a few moments, right? So just feel it all out. And you might notice that it's different from one side to the other. So my left foot, I have arthritis in my left foot. This foot really wants to lift up. So I have to be much more focused and conscientious about what I'm doing with my left foot at all times. On your next inhale, walk yourself forward. Now squeeze at the base of your pubic bone. Firm up your inner thighs. Exhale. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. There's a 90-degree bend to your left knee. Breathing here as you draw the pit of your belly back, support your lumbar spine. Now with your inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. And then on the exhale, your right fingertips go forward, left fingertips go back. Open arm twist. Perhaps your gaze follows your left hand. Beautiful, y'all. And then let your left hand come to the low back. Trace a line with your right fingertips up towards the sky. It's kind of a soft press of your hips forward as you stretch through the right side psoas and your right hip flexor. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, bring your right hand down to the ground just inside your left foot. You can also have a block underneath your right palm. Inhale, stack your left shoulder, your left clavicle on top of the right, and reach your left arm up to the sky. Drishti traditionally follows this left hand, but it's all good if that's not where you're at today. Take one more inhale, watch your right elbow. On the exhale, reach your left fingertips back. You can bend your right knee, flex your right foot. You can catch the ankle if it's there, but don't force it, right? It's just extra. And you breathe, y'all. This whole time you're breathing. Take one more inhale here. And that's a very soft release as you exhale. Right foot down, left hand to the inside of your left foot. Now heel toe your left foot over, spin your toes out, roll to the outer edge of your foot if it feels right. And then you can circle your hips. You can skip that part. You can also pull your right shoulder forward. And I really like to focus on the pranayam, the breath work here. So if you're working your Samavriti pranayam or Ujjayi, getting really deep into the breath, and notice how it impacts your actual physical practice as well. And then slowly curl up your right toes, lift your right knee. That's your inhale. Exhale, giant step forward, right foot outside your right hand, heels in, toes out, bottoms low, hands to heart center. Now you can stay right here. If you would like a little bit more opening through the shoulders, through the chest, on your inhale, take your right arm out in front of your right shin, your left arm goes to the sky. Breathe. And then hands come back to heart center. Inhale, left arm in front of the left shin, right arm up to the sky. And then hands come right back together, palms down. Inhale, lift your hips, turn your toes forward. Exhale, heel toe your feet together and forward fold, let it go. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. On the exhale, this time left arm down, right arm reaches up and over first. Inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, your right arm down, your left arm comes up and over. Inhale, arms up, look up, get as long as you can, belly in. Exhale, elbows back and down, open up through your chest. Inhale, bind up your hands, interlace your fingers, roll your chest open. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold, shoulder opener by letting your fist work its way up and over towards the ground. It might not get anywhere close to that, right? It's all good. Inhale. And exhale, bring your hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, high plank. Hands down, step your feet back. Hold for the inhale here. And then exhale, just lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Hips high, chest in towards your thighs. Let your head hang. Perfect. And on the inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. Gaze is forward. And then exhale as many steps as you need to take your feet to your hands at the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, melt your chest down. Move with your breath. Inhale, root to rise. Come right back to standing. So they're like half sun salutations. Exhale, hinge forward. Let the crown of your head drop down. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, chest to your thighs. Last time coming up. Inhale all the way to the sky. Urdhva Hastasana if you have it. Seal your palm. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Forward fold. Inhale, crown forward, tail goes back. Exhale, hands down, step your feet back, and lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bend your right knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. You can circle it out if you like, do whatever feels good, right? And then inhale, straighten back through your right leg, point your right hip down. And then on the exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Option to bring your left knee down or stay with your left knee lifted. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head, and then stay for your exhale. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Inhale to reach your fingertips just a little bit higher. And then on the exhale, bring your hands down, straighten through your right leg, just like we did earlier. Keep your right toe planted. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Exhale, shift your hips back. Hands can be on a block. Inhale, rebend your right knee. Exhale, shift your hips back and hold. Now in this space right here, you have the option to leave your right foot flat or to dig your right heel to the ground, flex your right toes up towards the sky, keep the internal rotation of your right thigh bone. So your second and your third toe are centered straight up instead of out or in. All right. On the inhale, rebend your right knee. Your left heel is going to kind of lift. And then use your inner thigh strength to bring your shoulders back over your hips, arms up overhead. Stay for the exhale. Now inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit higher. Now remember, you can always do this with your left knee down, just like we did before. On the exhale, open arm twist, left arm forward, right arm back, hold. Now your right hand can come to the small of your back, draw the pit of your belly in, and then take your left arm, reach it up and over. Just what we did earlier, only now your back knee is lifted. One more inhale here. On the exhale, bring your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. On the inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Watch your left hip. If it starts to drop down, draw it up by your left side waist, right? Use your obliques. Now you have the option to stay right here. If everything's feeling good in the hips, the low back today, on the exhale, you can take horizon lunge, spin to the outer edges of both feet, all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat, and then your right arm reaches down at a diagonal towards your left inner arch. Really nice, y'all. Now on your inhale, come back forward, but drop your right hand to the inside of your right foot and stay right here in your lizard lunge with your left knee lifted. Pull the pit of your belly and roll your shoulders back. Now inhale here. On the exhale, all the way over to the left, to the back of your mat, high or low skandasana. I'm going low. Right toes point up, drop your hips. Now if you're staying high, your head, your shoulders, your hips, so crown, spine, tail, all in the same line. Breathe. Hands can come to heart center, but watch the extension of your right knee joint. Perfect. And then your hands can either stay at heart center or come down to the ground. Inhale, lift yourself up. Walk yourself to the top of your mat. Exhale, standing split. Straighten your right leg, lift the left. Now your hands could be on blocks, right? If you need the ground to be closer, that's what you use your blocks for, right? Instead of throwing in the towel, giving up, do something a little bit different. It might challenge you, but find a way. If you can't get to the mountain, you bring the mountain to you. And that's your blocks, right? Drop the crown of your head down. Glance back at your left foot. If your pinky toe, your toes are pointing out to the left, you're externally rotating. Internally rotate by dropping your left hip down and pointing your toes to the ground. Now, from here, inhale, exhale, externally rotate, bend your left knee, stack your hip. It's an open hip twist here, right? Now your hands could still be on blocks. If it feels great to you, your right hand can reach back, catch your left ankle, and go for a little bit more of like a hip opener. Breathe. One more inhale, soft release of your left foot. Spin your left hip to point back down. And then exhale, let your left foot meet the right. Forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. And then exhale, fold yourself back down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step it back to downward facing dog and breathe. If you need a break, take one. It's all good. You can meet us right back where we are. Pedal out your feet if you like. On the inhale, float your left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, stack your hip, yawn it open. Circle it out if you want. You do you. And then on the inhale, straighten out through your left leg. Point your hip back down. And then exhale, step your left foot all the way forward. Stay on the ball of your back foot, right knee lifted if you choose. And then on the inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Just kind of feel all of this out. That whole transition is working your stabilizing muscles, right? Everything that we use to transition. So take one more inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the ground or to your blocks. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale, shift your hips back. You might feel your right heel kind of press towards the ground. It's okay if it doesn't touch. And then inhale, rebend. The right heel will lift as you take your heart forward. Exhale, shift it back. Right heel goes flat or ish. One more inhale. Rebend the left knee. Exhale, shift it back. Now, once you're here on this last one, if you need to stretch through your left calf again, lift your left toes. Pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. You have the option to round through the spine, tuck the chin if that feels good, or take your heart forward and kind of flare your tail towards the back of your mat. What sensation are you seeking today? And that's how you practice. On your next inhale, come back forward. Now you've got to squeeze your inner thighs towards one another, even though they're not touching. Take your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, your fingertips reach just a little bit higher. Exhale, open arm twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. Roll your shoulders back, open. Breathe. Now your left hand finds the small of your back. Your right arm reaches up and over. Stretch through your right side frontal body, right? Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, your right hand comes down to the inner arch of your left foot. You might have to wiggle your right foot back. It's all good. On the inhale, stack your left shoulder, your left clavicle on top of the right. Reach your left arm high. And then my right hip is dropping down, so I have to really pull it up by using my obliques on the right side. Gaze follows your left hand. Now you have the option to stay here or exhale, roll to the outer edges of both feet. Horizon lunge, all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Breathe. And on the inhale, you come right back through front and center. And let's, on the exhale, walk all the way to the right. Bend into your right knee. Drop your hips low. Straighten out through your left leg. And here you are. Breathe. Hands can come to heart center. You can bring them down. It's all good. And then you have the option to transition with or without hands. I'm going to use my hands. On the inhale, lift your hips. Walk yourself to the top of your mat. Frame your front foot. Exhale, standing split. Straighten your left leg, lift to the right. Glance back at your right pinky toe. Spin it down so all 5 toes point down. This is an internal rotation. So what happens, the right hip drops into alignment with the left, and you feel a stretch in the left outer hip. Take one more inhale. Now we're going to purposefully externally rotate. Exhale, stack your right hip on top of the left. Bend your right knee. Send the heel towards your left glute. And then if that all fits like a glove, you can reach your left hand back, catch your right ankle, and stretch a little bit more through the quad, through the hip. And then soft release of your right foot. Point your right hip and your toes down first. And then exhale, place your right foot next to the left. Nice. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold yourself down. All right, y'all. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. All right. Garuda, eagle pose. So we've opened up a little bit through the upper back, the shoulders. So if the arms don't feel great, it's all good. Root down through the 4 corners of your right foot. Inhale, lift your left knee. Exhale, cross your left leg over the right. Now you can stay right here with your left foot like a little kickstand, right? Whatever feels right. On the inhale, open your arms out. On the exhale, right arm underneath the left. Either hug opposite shoulders or go palm to palm. All right, now if you want to lift your left leg and double wrap, go for it. And just breathe here. You can bend your right knee to go deeper. On the inhale, straighten through your right leg, unravel, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, right back to your mountain pose. Just take the other side. Root down into the four corners of your left foot. Inhale, lift your right knee to a 90-degree bend. Exhale, cross your right leg over the left. Now, this is an internal rotation, a deep internal rotation of your thighs, right? So they're spinning in towards one another so that you can squeeze together. Your right toes can be a kickstand. Inhale, open your arms to a T. Exhale, left arm under the right, either hug opposite shoulders or go palm to palm. Breathe. Option to lift your right toes, to double wrap, or to just cross, whatever works. Breathe. Concentrate. And if you try to go deeper and it causes you to fall out or for it to, suck a little, don't just give up. Go to a spot just before, right? That's how you get to the deeper part. Go ahead and exhale completely. Inhale, straighten through the left leg, begin to unravel, reach your arms out and up. And exhale, right back to Tadasana. Nicely done. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, let's step it back and down and meet in child's pose. So bring your knees down to the earth. Take your hips towards your heels. Walk your arms forward. Forehead down. And breathe with me here. And then with your inhale, press up into your box pose. And on the exhale, cross your feet at the ankles, sit it back. Extend your legs out in front of you. Probably gonna have to roll the flesh out away from the sits bones. And then take a soft bend to your knees. With your inhale, reach your arms out and up. And on the exhale, hinge forward at your hips. It's all good if your hands don't find the feet. Lengthen your spine, pull your heart forward, breathe here. Inhale, you might lift, and then exhale, go a little bit deeper, pull your heart closer towards your feet. Just moving in that space. Noticing what you feel. And then on your next inhale, lengthen your spine, take your gaze forward, and then exhale to walk yourself back up. Scoot it forward ever so slightly, and then find a C curve to your spine and roll down one vertebra at a time. Once you're down on your back, Supta Baddha Konasana once more for setting up for your cobbler's bridge. So soles of your feet together, heels in towards your sits bones, and the knees splay out. Bring your hands down to the ground next to your hips. Press the knife edge of your feet down, and then inhale, lift your hips up. Try to soften through the glutes. Stay right here. Breathe. It's okay if you start to shake and wobble. It's all good. Stick with it. There's a little bounce. That's normal. Take one more inhale. And then exhale to soften yourself down. Let it go. Inhale here. And then exhale, draw your knees back together like you would the pages of a book. Separate your feet to about hip width distance apart. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Stay right here. If you need to lift your chest, lift your upper back as you draw your left thigh in, all good. And then let your head, shoulders, upper back come back down to the ground. Interlace your fingers around your left hamstring, nuzzle your right forearm towards your right inner thigh. Be here. And gently let your left foot come back down to the ground. Keep your cross of your ankle. On the inhale, open your arms to a T. You might bump your hips slightly to the right. And then exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Let's get a figure four twist. Gaze to the right. You have the option to leave your right knee as it is, to draw it closer in towards you. You might feel that more in your right outer glute. You can also press it away from you. Probably going to feel that more in the side body and in the frontal hip. And then we inhale, come right back through center. And let your low back, both feet come down to the ground. Any movements you need to take before we take the second side, feel free. And then cross your left ankle over your right knee or right side. Be there for a second. If you need to round the shoulders towards the legs to bring the right side in towards the chest, all good. But then let your head, your upper shoulders, your upper back come back down. And then broaden through your collarbones. Take a baby flex to both feet to support your knee joints. And relax your face. And I know it's really easy at this point in practice to kind of slip into your to-do list in your day. This is part of your practice. This isn't just stretching, right? You're still breathing and connecting to your body, because this part is just as important as everything else. The ending is just as important as the whole show, right? So pay attention. What do you feel right now? Because this is also telling you something. Slowly release your right foot back down to the ground. Inhale, open your arms to a T. You might bump your hips slightly to the left, and then exhale, drop your knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. And then you have that option to draw your left knee in towards you, to press it away from you. Feel it out. And then gently on the inhale, come right back through center, unravel, hug both knees in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, round your forehead up towards your knees. Take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, just open up to your Shavasana. You might have to switch the song to the last one on the playlist, or just turn it off, right? It doesn't matter. Having a little bit longer of a Shavasana today, so I hope you stay for the whole part. Yeah, I get it though. Relax your brows. Wiggle your jaw from side to side. And let's rest. And slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Unless you just dropped in, I want you to stay where you are. Ignore me. Otherwise, you inhale, full body stretch. Exhale the knees and towards your chest. And you can roll over to the right or rock up to your comfortable, easy sit just right where you are. Take your time. We'll meet in Sukhasana, hands at heart center, Anjali Mudra. Take that final moment, that pause to be grateful for your body, for what it does for you today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace be with each and every one of you. Namaste.